Welcome to the deep dive. There's so much buzz around the latest AI tools, and, for good reason, they really are changing how we work, how we create.
Absolutely. They are.
But while everyone's excited about the potential, well, cyber criminals are definitely paying attention. They see this huge wave of interest as a golden opportunity.
Exactly. They're turning that excitement, that kind of rush to download the next big AI app into a really dangerous new attack path. We've gathered quite a bit of recent security research news reports, too, that really focus on this growing threat. Fake installers for popular AI software.
Okay, so that's our mission today. Really dig into these sources. We want to unpack, what specific malware is being spread, how these attackers are actually tricking people into downloading it, and maybe most importantly, give you clear, actionable steps straight from the security experts on how you can protect yourself in the middle of all this AI fever.
Let's do it.
So where do we start? What do the researchers see?
Well, security researchers have definitely flagged a significant uptick. We're talking about a whole wave of counterfeit installers. They're pretending to be AI video generators, productivity tools, you name it.
And these aren't just duds, right? They actually do something malicious.
Oh, yeah. The sources are clear. They are bundled with serious, harmful payloads, stuff designed to cause, well, maximum damage.
And the research we've looked at seems to group these threats into two main buckets, popping up again and again in these fake AI downloads.
That's right. You've got ransomware on one side, designed to lock up your data and demand money. And then on the other, you have these purely destructive data wipers.
Yep.
Just scorched earth.
Okay, let's tackle the ransomware first. The sources mentioned a couple of specific examples. First up, CyberLock. What did the researchers find out about that one?
CyberLock is interesting. It's built using PowerShell scripts. Pretty direct in this approach. It targets files on specific drives, your C drive, D drive, E drive.
Main ones, usually.
Exactly. And if it doesn't have the access it needs right away, it actively tries to escalate its privileges. It wants full admin control over your system.
And once it gets those admin rights, what then?
That's when the damage starts. It begins encrypting your documents, your pictures, other important data. Once that's done, boom, you get a ransom note. And it's demanding a pretty hefty sum, $50,000.
$50,000?
Yep, $50,000 specifically in Monero cryptocurrency, and you only have 3 days to pay.
Wow. That's steep and fast. But the sources highlighted something really bizarre about the ransom note itself, didn't they? Not just a standard threat.
Yeah, this is where it gets weird. The note actually claims the money demanded, the 50 grand, is going to be sent to children and families in conflict zones. They specifically list Palestine, Ukraine, Africa, Asia.
Wait, what?
They frame the whole thing as a forced donation, arguing, it's the only way people will actually contribute to these causes.
That's incredibly twisted, trying to claim some kind of, moral justification, making the victim feel conflicted about paying.
Security veterans quoted in the research said it's highly unusual, though they did mention similar sort of social or moral justifications have cropped up occasionally in the past. The thinking is it might be an attempt to maybe lessen the victim's anger, possibly make them more inclined to pay quickly if they feel there's this warped reason behind it.
Strange. And CyberLock doesn't stop there, right? There's another nasty trick after the ransom demand.
Yes. After showing the note, it uses a legitimate Windows tool, Cypher.exe. Now, Cypher.exe is normally used for encryption, but it also has a function to wipe, overwrite unused disk space.
Okay, why would it do that? Wipe unused space.
Well, think about when you delete a file. Usually the data isn't gone immediately. It's just marked for deletion until something else overwrites it.
Right.
Recovery tools sometimes look for fragments of deleted files or shadow copies in that unused space. By using Cypher.exe to securely overwrite all that empty space after encrypting, CyberLock makes data recovery significantly harder. Maybe even impossible, even if you somehow got a decryption key later. It's like burning the escape route.
Nasty. Okay, so that's CyberLock. Specific drives, big ransom, weird justification, and hindering recovery. What about the second ransomware? Lucky Nuther.
Lucky Day. This one belongs to a known ransomware family called Chaos, sometimes also called Yashma. The sources note it often arrives hidden inside a self-extracting archive file, like a .zip that runs itself.
And how does it lure people in?
A specific example they saw was it disguised as a premium ChatGPT installer, directly playing on how incredibly popular that tool is.
Classic. Offer something everyone wants for free or cheap.
You got it.
Yeah.
This variant seems to target files under roughly 1.2 gigabytes in size, but crucially, before it starts encrypting, it goes after your safety nets. It actively deletes shadow copies and
Right.
Windows' own file version history and any local backups it can find.
Just like CyberLock's disk wiping, it's trying to block recovery paths, make paying the only option.
Precisely. Remove the easy ways out. And the attackers behind Lucky Grados use this really subtle trick with the file name for their main program, dwn.exe.
dwn.exe.
That sounds almost exactly like dwn.exe, the real Windows desktop window manager.
It does. It's clever camouflage. If you're quickly scanning your running processes in Task Manager, dwn.exe could easily just blend in, look like a normal system file, so you wouldn't suspect it.
Sneaky. Okay, so we have ransomware trying to extort money using some weird tactics and trying to block recovery. But the sources also mentioned a different category hiding in these fake installers, wipers. What's the difference there, and what did the research find about this Numero wiper?
Yeah, the key difference is motivation. Wipers generally aren't after your money. Their goal is purely destructive. Numero is built specifically to make your Windows computer completely unusable.
No ransom note, no chance of getting files back. Nope. No ransom note offering restoration, because there's nothing to restore. It's just about wrecking the system.
How does Numero typically get delivered, and how does it actually cause that destruction?
It's often packaged alongside a batch script and a Visual Basic file. That batch script sets up a persistence trick. It runs the main Numero program, then waits 60 seconds, stops it, and immediately restarts it, over and over.
Making it really hard to kill the process manually.
Exactly. You try to end the task, and poof, it's right back. This constant annoyance eventually leads to total destruction.
And the wiper itself, what are the technical bits?
The sources say Numero is written in C++ ACT, targets 32-bit Windows systems. It also apparently includes checks to see if it's being run in a debugger or analysis environment, trying to make it harder for researchers to pick it apart.
Smart. And what's the actual effect on the computer? What does the user see if Numero runs?
This is where its destructive nature becomes very visually obvious. It starts overwriting parts of the user interface, specifically window titles and button labels.
With what?
With the same repeating string of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, says Zayneg.
Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Everywhere. On everything.
Pretty much. Over the title bar of every window, on every button it can access. So you can imagine trying to use your computer becomes impossible. You can't tell which window's which. You can't read buttons because they all just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Utter chaos.
Yeah. The outcome described in the research is basically a crippled system. You need to do a full reinstall, rebuild everything from scratch. There's no fixing it.
Okay, so whether it's ransomware, holding data hostage, or a wiper just smashing everything, these are serious outcomes. But how are people even finding these things? They're not on the official Microsoft Store or OpenAI's website.
No, definitely not. This is where the attackers get clever with social engineering and infrastructure. They're exploiting that massive demand and curiosity around AI.
Yeah.
One big method is fake websites.
Websites designed to look legit.
Exactly. Designed to mimic real AI services. The sources mention one example, a site at novelleadsci.com. Looks plausible enough at first glance.
And what was that site promising?
It pretended to offer free, year-long access to some kind of AI lead generation service, dangling a big discount. But here's a major red flag the researchers noted. The creation date of that fake domain was just days before, or sometimes even the same day as, the compile date of the malware it was pushing.
Ah, so it was purpose-built just for this scam.
Very likely.
Yeah.
That timing strongly suggests it wasn't some long-standing site that got compromised. It was created specifically to distribute this malware.
And how do they get people to these brand new fake sites? Nobody knows the address.
That's where SEO comes in, search engine optimization. They use tricks to make these fake sites rank highly in Google search results for terms people actually use when looking for AI tools.
Like best AI video generator free.
Exactly, that kind of thing. Someone searches for a tool, sees this fake site near the top, assumes it's legitimate, clicks it, and falls into the trap.
Makes sense, but it's not just search engines, right? Social media plays a big role too.
Oh, huge. Social media is a massive vector for this.
The ads, those flashy ads promising the next big AI breakthrough.
Yep, exactly. Infected ads on platforms like Facebook, LinkedIn, you name it. They often use really eye-catching banners, promising free access to popular or cutting-edge AI video tools. Things like Luma AI, Canva Dream Lab, Kling AI tools getting a lot of buzz right now. They leverage that popularity.
And the sources mentioned that Mandiant, the security firm, tracked a specific large campaign using this approach.
They did. Mandiant, which is owned by Google, tagged this campaign UNC6032. They believe the operators are likely based in Vietnam and have been active since around mid-2024.
And their method was these social media ads.
Yes, buying ads on social platforms to drive users to these carefully crafted lookalike websites for those popular AI video tools we just listed.
What happens on those lookalike sites if you click the ad?
The sites look pretty convincing. They might even ask you to type in a text prompt, just like a real AI video generator would, to make it seem functional.
But it doesn't actually generate anything.
Nope. Your input is completely ignored. While you're thinking it's working, the page quietly triggers a download in the background. It sneaks onto your system a piece of loader code written in the Rust language, which Mandiant called STARKVEIL.
STARKVEIL. Okay, so that's the first piece of malware from this specific campaign, but you said it's a loader, not the final payload.
Correct. That's a really important distinction. STARKVEIL isn't the thing that steals your data or encrypts your files itself. It's more like an initial delivery mechanism. Its job is to download and execute multiple other malware components onto the victim's machine. It's a modular approach.
Modular. Okay, walk us through that chain. What else does STARKVEIL bring down?
It drops several other pieces to build out their capabilities and ensure they stay hidden. First, there's a component called Grimpull. This one uses the Tor network, the anonymous network, to fetch further instructions or download additional malware payloads later on.
Okay, so it phones home, but through Tor, making it much harder to trace where it's connecting to.
Exactly. Then there's Frostdrift. This is a backdoor built using .NET. Its main job seems to be reconnaissance, gathering detailed information about the infected system. And notably, it actively looks for browser extensions associated with password managers and cryptocurrency wallets.
Hunting for credentials and financial access, the keys to the kingdom.
Pretty much. Trying to find ways to steal logins and potentially crypto assets. The third main piece they identified is XWorm.
XWorm? That sounds familiar.
It is. It's a well-known, fairly common remote access Trojan, or RA. XWorm gives the attackers the standard R8 toolkit. Keylogging, so they can steal everything you type, screen capturing, so they can see your screen, and the ability to run any command they want on your computer.
So they can watch you, steal info, install more stuff, basically take over. How do these three, Grimpull, Frostdrift, and XWorm, get deployed and run without setting off immediate alarms?
That seems to be handled by yet another component, a Python-based dropper that the researchers named CoilHatch. CoilHatch takes care of installing and running this trio of malware, and it often uses a technique called DLL sideloading.
Sideloading, what's that?
It's a sneaky trick where malicious code gets loaded into memory by a legitimate, trusted program. Because the activity appears to come from a legitimate process, it can sometimes fool security software into ignoring it. It's a way to blend in.
Okay, this sounds really complex. STARKVEIL, loading Grimpull, Frostdrift, XWorm, all managed by CoilHatch. Why go to all this trouble? Why use so many separate pieces instead of just one big malware blob?
The sources suggest it's about resilience and evasion. It significantly increases their chances of success. Think about it. If your security software detects and blocks, say, Frostdrift,
The other parts might still get through.
exactly. Grimpull might still be able to fetch new commands, or XWorm might already be running. It's a layered defense for the attacker. If one component fails or gets caught, the others might still succeed in compromising the system or maintaining access. It ensures they get some foothold, even if part of the attack is stopped.
It makes sense. And this whole elaborate setup, these tactics, they seem perfectly tailored for right now. Why are these kinds of exploits, fake AI installers, these modular chains, working so well at this particular moment?
It lines up perfectly with the absolute explosion in the AI market. The adoption across almost every industry, design, sales, marketing, development, you name it. Everyone is scrambling to use these new tools to get an edge, automate work, boost creativity. There's huge demand.
And the fake offers prey on that eagerness, maybe a bit of impatience too. People want the tools now.
Absolutely. An offer that dangles free access for a year or promises a premium unlocked version of some hot new AI tool, that's incredibly tempting. It taps into curiosity, yes, but also, crucially, the desire to save money.
Especially for tools that might have expensive subscriptions.
Right. Busy professionals, small businesses, students. They see a chance to get powerful software seemingly for free or very cheap. That psychological pull, that appeal of a bargain, can be strong enough to make people lower their guard, even just for a moment.
The classic too good to be true scenario biting people again. Okay, so let's bring this all together. What are the practical defenses? Based on what the security experts in these sources recommend, what should you actually do to avoid becoming a victim of this?
The advice is pretty consistent and honestly fundamental cybersecurity practice. Rule number one, and you really can't say this enough, only download software installers directly from the official vendor's website or from well-known, reputable app stores like the Microsoft Store or Apple's App Store.
No third-party download sites, no clicking links and random ads.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Avoid those like the plague. Never use those shady download portals. Never click links from ads you see on social media. Definitely don't open attachments or click links in unsolicited emails promising software access. Stick to the source.
That feels like the biggest single thing someone can do, the main barrier.
It really is.
Yeah.
Beyond that, it's about basic cyber hygiene. Keep your operating system Windows, macOS patched and up to date. Keep your applications updated. And crucially, keep your antivirus or endpoint security software updated and running scans. Those updates often patch the very holes this malware tries to exploit.
Okay, download only from official sources. Keep everything updated. What about spotting a fake before you even click download? Any tips there?
Yeah, learn to recognize the red flags. It often comes down to paying attention to small details. Is the website address exactly right for the company, or is there a subtle typo in the domain name, like Microsoft instead of Microsoft?
Little typos.
Or look for spelling mistakes, bad grammar on the website or in the ad copy. Does the download itself seem weird? Like, are you expecting a .exe installer, but you get offered a .zip file or some strange archive? Those inconsistencies are often giveaways that something isn't right.
So be skeptical, look closely. The core message from the experts, based on all this research,
It's that the tempting offer, the software that looks amazing and costs nothing or next to nothing, comes with a potentially massive hidden cost. That initial lure of saving money on a cool AI tool could end up costing you far, far more if ransomware locks up your entire digital life or a wiper just destroys your computer. And that's not even counting the potential theft of your personal data, passwords, or financial info.
so vigilance is key, especially with this AI gold rush happening.
Absolutely. The threat actors are adapting incredibly fast to ride this AI wave, being cautious, being skeptical about where you get your software from. That's your single most effective shield against these kinds of attacks right now.
It's a really strong reminder, isn't it? As we all rush to adopt these genuinely exciting new technologies, we just can't afford to switch off our critical thinking. That next time you see that super slick ad, or that top search result promising a revolutionary AI tool for free, or it's some unbelievable discount, just taking that extra moment, pausing, double-checking the source, that could honestly be the difference between getting a great new productivity tool and staring at a lock screen demanding crypto.